How's it going, guys? So we're going to be doing a trade simulation for the trade that happened today between the Ducks and the Devils. Anaheim traded Sami Vatanen and a conditional pick to New Jersey for Adam Henrique, Joseph Blandisi, and a third in 2018. So kind of surprised with this trade, but it does actually make a lot of sense when you look at it. Right now, the Ducks have absolutely no center depth. Their top two centers in Getzlaf and Kessler are both injured. I think Eves is also injured, so they really need help at forward, but their defense is pretty stacked. Like, obviously, Fowler just came back from injury. They got him, Lindholm, Montour, Manson, Vatanen, Bieksa, Boschman. They kind of actually have an extra guy right now. So, makes sense, I guess, to trade Vatanen, who's kind of been struggling, for Henrique, who's also been struggling, but could definitely help them out as a top six center. And then even when Getzlaf or Kessler gets back, he'll be an awesome third-line center. So, obviously, Vatanen, though, pretty good player. You can see 26 years old, 83 overall. Making 4.8 for the next 3 years. He's got high top 4D potential. Like I said, obviously, pretty solid defenseman. If it wasn't for Anaheim's insane depth at D, I do not think they'd be trading him. I mean, they gave up Shea Theodore to keep this guy. Not to mention the fact that they didn't have the two centers missing in Getzlaf and Kessler. They probably also wouldn't be trading him. But the facts are, they have a ton of depth at D, and they really need some help right now at center if they want to have any chance of making the playoffs this year. I mean, the fact that they're still hanging around there, like, without those two guys is pretty impressive. So we're going to try it without the conditional. We'll first see what the value is at if they don't re-sign Henrique. So obviously Henrique there, decent amount of value. 27-year-old, 83 overall center. He's played anywhere between like first line and fourth line for the Devils this year. In the past, he's usually like a top six guy for them. But for whatever reason this year, he's been playing on the third and fourth line sometimes. But I think he's a solid player. Obviously, I'm a bit disappointed too. Hull and Henrique finally reunited after playing together for the Windsor Spitfires. It only lasted 1 year, but what are you going to do? So Henrique there. They also get Joseph Blandisi. I don't think he has too much value in this game. And yeah, he was all the way down here. I wasn't even sure if he was on the team for a second. He's 23, 74, medium bottom six. Obviously, he's just kind of like a depth player, which honestly the Ducks need, though. And the Devils, I think, have enough of that, especially with like the emergence of Jesper Bratt, Hischier, playing top 6 minutes. So Henrique, I didn't even add Blandisi there. So just look at New Jersey's draft picks, guys. As you can see, they actually don't have a 2018 third, and that's because they traded it with a second for Marcus Johansson. The 2018 third that they're going to trade for Vatanen is actually the Toronto Maple Leafs third round pick this year, which they're going to get as compensation for the Leafs signing Lou Lamoriello to be their GM. So I'd have to like go on New Jersey and make that trade, but then there's no way to do the there's no way to trade picks out of GM mode. So we'll just have to do a 2019 third, which probably has similar value to the Leafs 2018 third. And I just added Blandisi there. Now it says Anaheim would have more than 45 skaters. That's probably because Getzlaf and Kessler are both injured right now that the trade will actually go through. So we'll just add the worst value player on their team. It looks to be this Holtz dude. So we'll do that. The trade value looks to actually be a bit in favor on New Jersey's side. I don't think it's going to go through, and it doesn't. So the conditional pick is actually a 2019 third if Henrique signs before the 2019 draft. If he signs after the 2019 draft, it's a 2020 third, and if he doesn't re-sign at all, then there's no draft pick. So we'll just assume he signs before the 2019 draft. I feel like if he does re-sign, it'll probably be before the 2019 draft, and if he doesn't, then he's just not going to. So we'll add the 2019 third, which actually might go through. Like, at this point, if he does re-sign, it's a very fair trade. And like I said, I think this trade is good for both teams. Anaheim really needs that center depth. And since trading Adam Larson, New Jersey's kind of been weak at D. We're trading for Miracle Mueller, signing Will Butcher, and now trading for Vatanen. Their D's looking very solid. New Jersey's actually looking like a playoff team. I think that Taylor Hall trade, New Jersey definitely won. They gave up Larson, and they fixed their D in, like, what, a year and a half? And now they have Taylor Hall, so not bad at all. We'll see if this trade goes through with the conditional third on Anaheim's side. And it does not. I thought that would have been a fair trade, but apparently not. Alright, guys, we're not going to try the trade from the Devils' perspective. Exact same trade, except I actually got the Maple Leafs 2018 third to make it a bit more authentic. Now, the Devils' 2019 third has the exact same amount of value, but in regards to this trade, the Ducks actually want the Maple Leafs 2018 third. They don't want the 2019 third, so maybe it'll help the trade go through. They also want Blandisi for some reason, but not Henrique. Probably because, in this, Getzlaf and Kessler are both healthy. There's no way to make them injured. And then we have Vatanen there with Holtz again, just for the roster spot. So the trade looks pretty even. Honestly, I could even add like the conditional third to see if it goes through with the conditional third. We'll do the 2019 third again. This might make it too close, but I think if we take off that condition, it'll probably go through. It just shows you how close this trade is. And like I said, in my opinion, very fair trade for both sides. I think they're both, improving areas of need. So we'll try with the conditional pick first. Trade rejected, so we'll take off the condition. We'll assume Henrique does not re-sign with the Ducks. Will this trade go through? and it's still rejected. Okay, I thought that was a very fair trade, but for whatever reason, the Ducks, you know, they just do not want to part with Vatanen. Obviously, in real life, too, Montour, I think, is playing a lot better than his current overall. If you look at the Ducks' defense here, we'll sort by overall. You got Lindholm, Fowler, Manson 81. He's probably honestly like an 83 now, on par with Vatanen. And then Montour's a 77. He's at least like an 81, 82. BX and Boschman at 79 both make sense. But with the emergence of Montour, Manson playing a little bit better than that. Like I said, they do have that ability to trade Vatanen. Plus, as you guys can see there, they got Larson waiting in the wing. He's definitely going to probably make the team next year. Overall, like I said, very fair trade. Probably the most fair trade we've seen this year. I think it'll work out for both teams because, like I said, even when Getzlaf and Kessler come back, Henrique's just a solid third-line center for the Ducks, or they can even move him to the wing in their top 6. And then Vatanen on the Devils just makes their defense that much better. So I'll actually take a quick look here at what both teams look like with those players added. So with the addition of Henrique, guys, this is what the Ducks forward lineup's looking like. Obviously, Henrique's probably going to play first-line center. He's a lot better than Wagner and Grant, who are their current top 2 centers. I mean, obviously, he's a huge upgrade. And then once they get healthy, you can see you got Getzlaf. The game puts Raquel there with Kessler on the third line, Henrique third line like right wing. Plus they get Eves back. Like once they're healthy, the Ducks are gonna be dangerous, and that's why I think like the trade for Henrique can kind of keep them around the playoffs. And then once they get both Kessler and Getzlaf back, I think they'll make that push and get in. Also, I noticed too the roster update came out today. I'm gonna have a video on that, but quick little preview here. Montour actually got a bit of an upgrade up to a 79. I thought he could honestly even be an 81. And then Manson also got one up from an 81 to an 83, so that's good to see. And here's a look at the Devils' top 6D with Vatanen added. So you got Green and Santini as the top pair. I think they had to have lowered Green's overall. I don't remember him being a 78. Then you got Vatanen and Butcher on the second pair, Moore and Severson on the third. It's kind of weird that the third pair is the best, then the second pair, and then the first pair is the worst. I think actually Butcher got an upgrade too. I believe he was an 80 in the last roster update, but Mueller's injured right now, so we'll do best lines, see what they look like when healthy. So Vatanen and Severson become top pair, Moore, Butcher, Mueller, and Lovejoy. They actually have Green scratch. So, I mean, you can see here, again, another team when they're healthy, going to have a lot of depth. Forward group there when healthy. There's a quick look at the Devils. I think Zajac might have gotten lowered too. I think he was an 82, maybe 83. Now an 81. But like I said, I think both teams get better from this trade. A very fair trade overall. Let me know what you guys think of the trade in the comments section. I should have a video out on the new roster update, just looking over all the teams, all the new rating boosts later tonight, so stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.